Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Make More Money Mastermind. My name is Eric Olala, and today I'm hosting the program with my two colleagues, Kris Dennis and Ghislain La Rochelle, which I believe is on here as well. I see we also have some exciting guests with us today. I see my buddy Karen that just joined. We've got Luke Schlebach. We also have, all right, we have my mother, Wanda Sitzman. Mom, good to have you on here. We also have some other 10X licensees. Karen is one of my accountability partners, fellow 10X licensee. Good to have you, Karen. So is Luke. We'll be seeing some more people hopefully join as we get going. We're excited to have you joining us today. I know it's a Thursday morning. It's taking time out of your busy schedules. And hopefully during this time, you find some inspiration, you find some fresh ideas, you find some encouragement so that you can go out and make more money. Today is our second session. We started this last month, the end of October, and we will be having this starting in just 2 weeks, the first Thursday of every month. So we started at the end of October, we're doing it in the middle of November, and then we're getting it on track for the first Thursday of every month, just starting in 2 weeks. And so we're excited about that. Our next event, as I mentioned, is Thursday, December 1. And we'd like to invite you to be there and invite your friends, invite anybody that you think that could benefit. So we want to know why the Make More Money Mastermind. Well, for those that are just visiting us the first time today, when Kris, Ghislain, and I got together, we asked ourselves, how can we help people? How can we create a network that would encourage and build and help people through the economic times that we're going through? And we all looked around, we said, how to make more money. That's going to be something that's on our minds. It's on a lot of other people's minds today. And so our topic today is on the subject of how our belief and view of success actually directly impacts our income. You know, we're living in some unprecedented times. The company Amazon, we read in the news just recently, they lost $1 trillion in market valuation. That is larger than the gross domestic product of Switzerland, and it is the most money that any company has ever lost in the history of mankind. Like, there has been no other company that has lost $1 trillion in market valuation before. This is something that has truly never been seen before. If you take a look at the top 5 tech stocks, $4 trillion in market value have been lost so far just amongst those 5 companies. We're talking major disruption in our lifetime that we're witnessing today. It's like 4 Switzerlands have just been affected radically in just the last 10 months, 11 months of the year. I've been following for about 6 years now a company by the name of Weiss Ratings. And in my opinion, they're one of the best independent rating companies of stocks and cryptocurrencies. And they definitely have one of the best track records of picking vulnerable companies. And I have a little article that I received from them on one of the services that I am from the year 2017, and it was updated in 2018. And I want to read to you a little quote out of there. This is back in 2017, 2018, so 5 years ago. They wrote, "The strongest economic cycles of history are about to converge. They're the same cycles that accurately predicted the Great Depression and every major investment event since." Now, they don't explain here in this article that these same cycles were the cycles that converged with the downfall of Rome, but they do in another place. They continue on. Now, this is back in 2017, 2018. They said, now these economic cycles are pointing to indicate some of the most violent times of our financial lives are about to begin. As these cycles come together, they form a great super cycle with enormous destructive power, including the power to bankrupt some of the most highly indebted governments on the planet. It won't happen all at once. It will play out in 4 phases, and they go out and they explain these 4 phases. Today, we don't want to spend the time to go into all of that, but I would like to say that we are living in a very significant time in human history. It is so significant. And for us in the 21st century, we're so used to like radical things happening at so much speed that I know for me, it's even hard for me to just sit here and think about the magnitude of what we're actually witnessing. But I believe that the time that we're living through right now is so significant that the measure of it is on the level of the fall of the Roman Empire. I want to repeat that again. I believe that the time that we are living through right now, we're living in the midst of it, is so significant that the measure of it is on the level of the fall of the Roman Empire. And I believe that it's even more magnanimous. It is even larger than that, because the world has never before seen the situation that is converging globally. The world has never been as connected as it is today globally. So this is both a scary time, and at the same time, it's a very exciting time to live. Just like every major global disruption, if you go all the way back to the fall of Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, Rome, all of these global disruptions and the major economic forces of the time, some people have fared well, others have fared not so well. And while some had the best time of their lives, they experienced some of the greatest gains of wealth and affluence and progress that they ever had in their entire lives, others suffered through some of the most enormous, tragic human suffering and desperation that you could even imagine. We read about it in the history books. And today is no different. We've been reading about it. We see it in the news. There are people today going through, it's unimaginable the type of suffering that some of the people are going through right now. I think of Ukraine and Russia. We have not even begun to see the full extent of everything that is happening over there. All we get to see is little glimpse of what the news gives us. There is a lot of stuff that is happening in the lives of people over there. So we believe here that it is our responsibility to help people, not only us and our families, but also the people that we have influence with, the people that we are able to touch and help. It is our responsibility to be successful. We believe that it's our responsibility to prosper, and in so doing, to help alleviate the suffering and help people rise up around us. A lot of people are getting caught in the tsunami that is happening. Over 100,000 people have been laid off of their work just recently. Just Amazon itself has laid off 80,000 people between January and September of this year, and now they're announcing another 10,000. We're talking massive impact on the lives of people. And so this mastermind, the Make More Money Mastermind, is about that. It's real life ways to change your pocketbook through some of the most scary and exciting times that have ever happened in human history. And so we want to create a network of people who can serve and help one another, encourage one another, and be able to boost one another through some trying times, because I believe that what we're seeing and what we're going through will touch every single one of us, if it hasn't already started to touch each of us in our lives. So here at this mastermind, we're believers in making more money, building wealth, helping people around us. We believe in abundance, and so you have the Make More Money Mastermind. Now, over the course of the year, we're going to talk about ideas of how to, like business ideas, how to make more money. We're going to also talk about attitude, mindset, goal setting, rules for success. We're also going to be talking about, the challenges, the setbacks. How do you deal with those as you go forward? So these are some of the things that we're going to be discussing. So at this time, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. And I want to invite our other co-hosts, Ghislain and Kris, to briefly introduce yourselves. For those that don't know Kris and Ghislain, please share about you, where you're from, what businesses you're in, and then we'll get into our topic for today.
Hi, thank you, Eric. My name is Ghislain La Rochelle. It's a real French name. I'm from Montreal, not too far from you, over there in Alberta. And I'm a real estate training. I'm a real estate trainer. I'm coaching people how to invest in real estate. So that's my main goal. The name of my company is imofacil.ca. And we teach probably to around 2,000 people every year about real estate. And I also wrote 10 books on real estate in French, all French. And I'm also writing blogs and articles in the newspaper. So that's me, Ghislain La Rochelle.
Hey everyone, hey Eric, that was a great opening. Thanks a lot. My name is Kris Dennis. I'm a Grant Cardone licensee, and I'm a real estate broker in Canada. So I'm licensed in Ontario and Alberta. I've been doing that for 21, 22 years now. I live in Calgary, Alberta. We're cold today, -13, so I'm not too impressed. I got a beautiful wife and two young, well, not young anymore. One's 18 and one's 15, and they're both bigger than me, but two great kids. So yeah, I'm excited to be here, and thanks for having me today.
And I'm Eric Olala. I'm the CEO of Eric Olala Consulting. And so we help businesses and enterprise with sales, marketing, and also information and communication technology infrastructure. So our topic for this week is success, and how your view of success determines the level of income that you have. And first, we want to spend some time just considering what exactly is success. What does it mean? And so I want to ask those of you that are on here, if you could put in the chat, what is your definition of success? What is success? What does it mean to you? You can just write in the chat, put your ideas of what does success mean to you. I'd like to suggest that success is something that means different things to different people. And the reason that it does that is because of the definition of the word itself. And success is simply the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. That's what the dictionary definition of it is. It's the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. So in our society, we have the definition of success a lot of people have as one of their goals and purposes in life is to attain financial wealth or maybe social status. And so oftentimes we hear it referred to as, oh, well, that person is successful, meaning they've reached a certain level of financial or economic status. But that is not the full definition of the word success. Success is actually the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. And there is such a thing as good success and ill success. There's a definition, an archaic definition of the word, that in enterprise, you can achieve your goal, but the result could be either positive or negative. So the good or ill success of their maritime enterprises is an example of good or ill success. So what about you? Those of you who are on our seminar today, what about you? What aims, what purposes are you seeking to achieve in your life? And the question remains, are you setting and achieving the goals in your life? Are you accomplishing them? Are you successful at that? This is the basis, this is the foundational level of that determines how much money you're going to make in your life. Do you have goals? Do you have aims? Do you have purposes that are related to your finances in your life? If you do, are you achieving them? If you don't, well, then you're probably not achieving them, and it's kind of left up to the wind to happen to you. So Kris and Ghislain are prepared to share with us some of the core ideas behind this, how we view success and how that relates to how it impacts our income. Kris, I understand that you're going to be sharing with us about how to achieve success, and particularly some of the ideas about how we relate to success. I know some people relate to success as if it's something that is kind of happenstance. It's either luck, or maybe it just happens, or and others, they view their lack of success as something that maybe they're victims of. Can you share with us a little bit about success from that standpoint?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, success, a big part of that is personal accountability.
I'm sorry, Kris, we can't see you.
Well, I can see me. Can anyone else?
Are you able, Eric?
I can see you. Let me see if I can pin him. There we go.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Ghislain. All right. Well, here I am. Yeah, for me, I think a big part of success is personal ownership, personal accountability. As Grant described it in the 10X rule, is assume control for everything. Victims don't attract success because you can't do positive actions while you're being a victim. A good story for that in my personal life is I've got early on in my real estate career, I had a situation, and I've since named it March Madness. It was probably 15 years ago. And I had about 8 real estate closings that were supposed to close in March. And I just had our first son, young family, a couple of years in the business. And all of them collapsed for one reason or another. And it was about $50,000 in commissions. So it was pretty devastating. It was everything I'd been working towards for a few months. And this was our money to support our family and move ahead. And I had a real estate coach, sales coach at the time. And, we had our call, and I started complaining and blaming. It's the lenders, it's the clients, it's the house, it's the sellers, it's the market. This is a stupid business, whatever I could come up with. And he said, Kris, let me stop you right there. Enough. Sure, these things have all happened, but what the hell are you going to do about it? You need to look at every situation, all these transactions. What could you have done differently? Maybe it's I could have worked with a different lender. Maybe it's I could have worked with different lawyers. I could have qualified the clients better. The big one that stood out to me is maybe I should have sold 16 houses instead of 8. Learn from every situation. Sometimes it's maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have worked with that person. Maybe I should have never done that before, and I'll never do it again. But what that gave me was this confidence, this power moving forward, that it's not the market, it's not the people, it's about me, my actions, my personal responsibility. So then I can grow and learn and and prevent this sort of thing from happening again. That was a really, really pivotal moment in my career and in my life. I still, I'm still in contact with this coach. We had lunch the other day, and I told him how big of an impact that was in my life and how I've taken that lesson forward in all areas. Right now I run a real estate brokerage. We've got 100 agents and staff all over the world. You know what? People make mistakes. They screw up. They cause problems. But at the end of the day, I'm responsible. I'm the guy that needs to solve the problem, take responsibility, and ensure that we put measures in place and we have trainings in place and systems so we don't have this happen to us again. A few years ago, I've got this little dog. I call him, he's a cougar hound or a coon hound, depending on what part of the world you live in. And he doesn't listen very well. But so one day we're heading out to school, and he likes to go for a car ride. So I open the front door and he bursts out and he starts chasing a lady with a baby stroller, and he won't come back. And my boys are standing there, and I'm like, okay, so I'm going to run after this dog and I'm going to catch him and be the hero and save this lady and her baby. Well, it turns out the stroller wasn't a baby, it was a dog. But in my heroic efforts to catch my dog and save the day, I tripped, and then I stumbled and I had forward momentum, and then I tripped again on a landscape barrier on my neighbor's yard, and I ended up shattering my knee, tearing ligaments, broke my right arm. So I had a few surgeries, and I was in the hospital and in extended care for about a month. And that's actually where I got introduced to Grant, because laying in a hospital bed, you start looking for things. And I saw some of his videos and then ebooks and that kind of thing. And, you're in a situation, and it's self-pity. Here I am, I'm laying in a hospital bed. It's not my fault, but it's my dog's fault. It's that lady and the stupid dog in the baby carriage. That's her fault. It's my kid's fault because they should have caught the dog. It was my neighbor's fault because they had some landscaping rubber molding hanging over my side of the property, and I tripped on it, and that's what caused my fall. I had even people saying, you should sue your neighbor. You should sue. And then, listening to the 10X rule on audiobook, here we are, chapter 6, assume control for everything. Started thinking, what if I had not been 315 pounds when I tried to chase my dog? What if I just put a leash on him instead of letting him out the front door? What if I lived a healthy and active lifestyle so that I could actually run a few steps and catch my dog and not have what the doctors call a catastrophic injury? And taking that outlook on it and assuming the responsibility and taking control of the situation really changed my outlook, and it allowed me to take my personal health in a different direction. And since then, I've lost 100 pounds. I've hiked to some of the most epic, amazing multi-day backpacking hikes through the Canadian Rockies and through Canada. I've done the West Coast Trail twice with my family. Just life-changing adventures, and having that personal power to say it's not the dog, it's not the neighbor, it's you. You're out of shape. You're fat. You should have had the dog on a leash. Accept responsibility. So that gives me my power to grow and change and learn, and again, make sure we don't do that again. So, and Grant talks about that as well, like a fender bender. Is it the driver's fault, or is it you should have left early, you should have left later, you should have taken a different road? Like, there's all sorts of things. Like, yeah, bad things happen to good people, as he says, but the good people have something to do with it. So there's always something to learn from every situation. Without that personal accountability, without being responsible and taking control for everything that happens to you, then you just can't move forward. You can't grow with success.
Yeah, so we have a question for everybody kind of based on that, this idea of assuming control in your life and I'm just going to pop it into the chat. What is it that you want to assume control of in your life right now? You just heard Kris talking about a couple of examples in his own life. Business deal that went bad. He was also sharing about his situation of tripping because he was overweight, unhealthy, wasn't paying attention to his dog. So how about in your own life? What is it that you want to assume control of in your life right now? As you guys think about that, I want you to write that down for yourself. If you feel comfortable putting it in the chat, you can. You don't have to if it's too personal, but I would like you to write it down on your notepad or a piece of paper there. Just say, what is it that you need to assume responsibility for success in your life? And Ghislain, you have some things that you'd like to share with us about action and how that affects.
Yes, exactly. I will share my screen. I have a few slides for you. Yes. Thank you. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is 6 rules of massive action. And this is from 10X. This is from Grant Cardone. The first one is success is your duty. If you don't want success, if you don't want to reach goals, this is you. But you have to take action to be able to get success. The number 2 rules of massive action is there is no shortage of success. What it means, if you want success, you will be able to reach it. Even if it's a small step that you're taking, you will be able to reach it. Number 3, assume control for everything. What it means that you have to control, you have to be there, you have to make sure that you're driving yourself and your team towards the success. Number 4, fear is an indication of growth. I will talk a bit more in a few slides about fear and fears. And it's you need fear. If you're not getting out of your comfort zone, you won't have fear. So this is very good to have fear. Number 5, time management is the myth. What you need is massive action. Don't look at your time management. Take massive action. I will talk about a bit more in a few slides. And number 6, become omnipresent. It means that you have to be everywhere, on the social network, on TV, on radio, if you're able to, in the newspaper, you have to be everywhere. There is 4 degrees of action. The first one is do nothing, okay? Do nothing, what it means. I'm in a real estate, and last week I was meeting with a lady, a future customer, and I asked her, what is your problems? What problem? And she told me, my problem is I'm not able to find any money for the down payment, okay? So I asked her, the last week, how many people did you contacted to make sure to see if they have money for you? They can lend you some money. They can be in a partnership with you. And the answer was 0. Okay, maybe next week was not a good week. I asked her, the month before now, okay, how many people did you call? How many people did you ask? And guess what? The answer was no, nobody. I asked her, the next question is, how will you be able to do real estate, to find money, if you do nothing? If you do nothing, people won't come at you and say, I have 100,000, I have 200,000 for you. If one day you want to take action, you could take my money, it will be sitting there on the table and just take your money. This will not happen. You have to take action. So this is the first degree of action. The second one is retreat. What it means is you look at the other people, you look at what they're doing, you're reading a bit, you're listening to audio files, you're watching videos in internet or social network, and you don't do anything. You're just looking and doing nothing. Okay, so that's the second level of action. The third one is you take normal levels of action. Just like my neighbor. I have a neighbor, and he used to leave the house at 8:30 in the morning, always the same time, doing always the same thing at the government. And he's coming back at 5:20, 5:24, 5:25, and doing always the exact same thing. Okay, he don't do anything more to be able to change his life. I remember a few years ago, I asked him, when do you take your pension? When do you retire from work? He said, he looked at his watch and said, in 3 years, 2 months, and 2 weeks. He had the exact date he wanted to live. He said, but do you love your job? He said, no, I'm just waiting for my pension plan. Okay, so this is normal level of action. Massive levels of action is you do what nobody else wants to do. Okay, I'm looking for deals. I'm looking for buildings to be able to buy. And what I'm doing, I'm knocking on doors, either me or somebody else. I'm taking a piece of paper that I put in a letter that I put in every mailbox in an area where I want to buy buildings. One thing I did last year, I was able to find German people who had buildings, not buildings, land into a certain area, and I sent them a letter. Okay, they bought this part of land in 1987. So guess that they probably moved from 1987 to now. So I was able to contact somebody in Germany that would speak to them and try to convince them to talk to me. And finally, I was able to buy about 20 parcels of land with this technique. It took me 10 months, a lot of hours to be able to get there. But I was able to make money out of this. Okay, so 4 degrees of action. One thing, and Kris said it very well. And thank you, Kris, for your sharing what happened to you. Excuses are never the reason why you did or didn't do something. It's inside of you. I didn't do it because I'm too busy. I think I'm too busy because I don't want to do it, or because somebody else will do it. So don't excuse yourself. Find solution. Okay? Don't excuse yourself. Find solution. Fear. Fear isn't a bad or something to avoid. I always say, if you're getting out of your comfort zone, that's a good thing. This morning, I received a call from a lady, and she told me, I want to go to do some private lending. I have 100,000. Sorry. She has $100,000, and what she wants to do is lend it to somebody. And she told me, I'm fearful. I don't know what to do exactly. So I helped her remove a lot of fears. And what happened after that? She said, okay, I'm going. I'm jumping in. So for her, it's a big move. She never done that before, but that's good. We have to do that. Sorry. Criticism. This is a sign of success. You get attention, you get criticism, and you get hate at the same time, and you get admiration. So people, they want to do like you. They don't like the car you have. They don't like the money you're doing. They don't like that you are successful. So criticism is a good sign of success. Now, how to get started with 10X? First thing, write down your goals and never reduce them. Even if in the mid-year I will never be able to reach them, go ahead, go and jump. Number two, don't get lost in mechanics. Intention is senior to mechanics. If you want to buy in real estate something, you want to buy an 8plex, let's say, okay? There's a lot of steps to get there and get there after the notary. But if you do small steps and you forget all of the mechanics, how to do it, you'll go forward and you'll find ways to do it. Number three, ask yourself, what actions today can move forward these goals? Do you have a list of action? Do you have a small list of action that you take every day and that will bring you further to very close to your goals? Number four, whatever actions you come up with, regardless of what they are or how you feel, do them. Sometimes it's very hard because you want to take action, and people, what they do, let's say there is a list of 10 items to do today. What do? You do the easiest one, and the one that gets you closer to your goals, you don't do that because at the end of the day, you don't have time. So do the hard thing at the beginning. And every morning I wake up at 5, I jump onto my computer and I do what is very hard for me. And this morning I had a call to make, I had the email to write, and after that I received a call. This was very hard, and I did it very early. Okay, so take a chance and start your day with the biggest and hardest thing you can do. Number 5, don't prematurely value the outcome of your actions. What it means, it means that, okay, I sold the training today. Okay, but say I got money from the training I sold. Wait for the money to come in your pocket, and that's how we do KPI, key performance indicator, here at ImoFacil. When the training is sold, that's great, but we calculate the training when we have the money in our pocket, okay, in the bank. And number 6, repeat each day and do that every day. So that's what I wanted to help you, to tell you about how to get more action and have a better success too. Thank you, Eric.
All right. Thank you, Ghislain and Kris. So as we just think about kind of what you guys have shared here, the idea of assuming control for everything, and then also, Ghislain, as you're talking about the 4 levels of action, for those that are attending today, we want to specifically put upon you to think about your life. I want you to think about your finances. I want you to think about your income, your business, your family, your physical health, your spiritual health. Wherever it is that you're at, I want you to think about those areas of success. We define success as being able to achieve and set and meet your aims and purposes, achieve those. What goals and aims are you doing nothing on currently that you should be doing something about? Which ones are you retreating on? I have been amazed at, as I call people in prospecting for my business, at how many people are they're just giving up. Like they're just retreating. I had a guy that I spoke to recently that his idea was that it is impossible to grow at this time. And so he was cutting back in his business and retreating. People are retreating, and that's the retreating aspect. So what are you retreating in your life that you should be moving forward, taking massive action in? The other is, what are you taking normal actions in? I realized in my own life that I was taking a lot of normal actions in almost every area of my life, and I was not happy with the results. And so when I started attending, the licensee program, I became a Grant Cardone licensee. That's one of the things Grant hammers on is what are you taking massive action in? So I want to ask you guys, what are you taking normal action? If you're taking normal action, especially in this particular time that we're living in history, that is a formula for failure. Normal action. So what are you taking normal action? Where do you need to take massive action? So write these down, put these in your mind. We're doing an experiment this week, and I see we've got about 12-13 minutes before our time is up here. So we want to be aware of that. Let me see if I can share my screen. What we're going to do is I'm going to just share with you what our offer is today. We're doing an offer, kind of an experiment. Ghislain, Kris, and I are Grant Cardone licensees. We're coaches, and we help people and we help businesses with where they're at in their journey. And Ghislain's expertise is in the investment realm, so real estate investing. He has enormous amount of resources to help you. For those of you who weren't here last time that we had our meeting, he shared his story. He shared some of his testimonial of how he has gone from having 80 real estate rental properties to now up, what did you say, over 602, Ghislain. He has expanded, and this is in the last less than 10 years. He's gone from 80 to 602. So this is major growth and expansion. He's has a lot to be able to offer in the real estate realm, investment realm. Kris has a lot of expertise in the real estate agency brokerage realm. He also is doing business consulting on systems and management. You heard him share about how he helps, or he's running right now, brokerage in multi-provinces, and also works with over 100 real estate agents. So he offers coaching on those types of services. For me, my background is I was a pastor for 20 years, over 20 years. I've also been in communication IT. I've been involved with the planning and organization and execution of some extremely large events. We've filled the stadium in Newfoundland, the St. John's Mile 1 Stadium I was a communication co-chair with their Avalon Celebration of Hope. We've also put on several events on YouTube that have generated over 25,000 viewers. And in addition to helping with subsidiaries set up IT infrastructure, so cloud IT infrastructure, CRMs, ERPs, and now the sales and marketing infrastructure. Like if you have a business and you're just trying to figure out, how do I bring sales and marketing and train my staff, and how do I get the technology behind it connected, and how do I bring everything into alignment? that is an area of expertise that I have and I work with and help organizations with. So we're doing an experiment. We're offering a one-time deal. It is for 3 months. The normal price for it is $6,000, and we are slashing that because we recognize the economic times that we're living. So we're slashing it 98%. So we're not giving this entirely free, because we've learned that you really only appreciate what you pay for. And so we're not totally giving it for free, but it might as well as be free. I mean, a 98% slash is pretty huge. We're not going to be doing this a lot, but we're going to just try it here. So for 3 months, we're going to do the Make More Money Accelerator, and it's $97. And what that will get you is 3 months access to a bi-monthly group coaching session. I will be leading out from time to time. Kris and Ghislain, they will be hopping on. So it'll be a total of 6 sessions, 2 every month for 3 months. It's a group coaching session. It will go for 1 hour. And you will be able to actually chat back and forth. You'll be able to ask questions about your business, your challenges you may be facing. And in addition to that, you will have access to 35 sections, 35 programs of Cardone University. And I really wish my slides were working right now, but I somehow got it messed up with I did a custom show and now it's overriding my slides here. But for this time, you get 24/7 access for 3 months to, actually it's 34 Cardone University courses. And those courses include goal setting and targets, mastering objections, prospecting. There's like 2 parts on prospecting. There's one on greetings. There's one on fact finding. There's one on how to set up demos and selection, how to present demos for sales presentations. There's 4 sessions actually on objection handling. And then there is an introduction to Grant's follow-up programs, which are, I'd have to say, they're probably one of the most significant, thorough follow-up programs I have ever seen. And these are things that we're implementing into our own businesses. And let me tell you, these things are extensive to implement the follow-up program. It involves a lot of components. And so it takes a lot. It takes a lot to implement these. But we offer this in this 24/7 access to 34 of these programs, everything from attitude and mindset to goal setting to sales meetings, prospecting, inbound calls, outbound calls. All these things are wrapped up into this. Like I said, our normal price, like my normal coaching price for this access is $6,000 for 3 months. And we are slashing that 98%. This is exclusive to those that are joining this particular program. If you'd like to join it, what you need to do is email to Accelerator. I'll put this in the chat. Right now, it's send an email to accelerator@ericolalah.com. accelerator@ericolalah.com, and in the subject just say Make More Money Accelerator. That's all you have to say, and we'll respond to you and we'll get you set up. It's $97 for 3 months. You will have 24/7 online access to 34 unique sessions. And to give you an idea of how much that is, there's 26 hours of material from Grant Cardone on that. That's over 1,500 minutes of watch time. There's 34 courses, plus you will get 6 sessions, 1-hour sessions. They will be group sessions with me and periodically Kris and Ghislain as they hop on. And we will help you accelerate wherever you're at. If you're trying to start a business or if you're in a business, we can help you in whether it's sales, marketing, IT setup, infrastructure. We also can help you with websites, graphic design, branding, all of those sorts of things we can help you with. Plus, you get the Cardone University courses for that time. So $97. It's like giving it away for free. We wanted to make this available. We're doing this as an experiment. We know that it's a tough time right now for some people, and so we want to put that out there. This is a limited time. We're not going to be doing this a lot, but we would like to put it out there. So if you're interested, send an email. $97 for 3 months. All right, so with that being said, we're going to close off here. It looks like we're 2 minutes away from our time. I want to thank Ghislain. I want to thank Kris for you guys coming on, sharing, and being with us. And of course, we also want to thank each and every person that has come here and joined our mastermind. Again, our next one is going to be in 2 weeks. It's going to be the first Thursday of every month. So we want to invite you, and we want to invite you to tell other people about it. So if you find any sort of value in what we have shared here today, what we talk about, the things that we explain and give access to, if you find any value in that, please share this with people that you know that could benefit from this, because this mastermind is free. We offer it for free to people. We want to be able to be a network for people to give them some encouragement through this time. And as we go forward, you will see additional people. We'll have interviews. We're going to talk about some business opportunities, investment opportunities, different products and offerings that are available to you for help in your life, in your business, and your success. So we want to thank you for joining us. Thank you, Kris and Ghislain, again. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on December 1st. Have a great day.